There are several people that God told to follow you in ministry, but when they look at you, you are not looking like the person God told them to follow. There is a version that God told them to follow. You have not become that version. For some of you that is young ministers, you don't know what God will. Once you marry like this, just marry so that you will remove that. It's a burden. Once you marry, things will click. Bam. From marrying, change location. From changing location, change job. From changing job, change ministry. As soon as you got there, people will tell you that when you got there, you started praying. People will say they have been looking for who to pray with. Before you know it, praying people will become 17 in number. Ministry, you have been asking God, how do I do this? My ministry started by simply what? Marry. Change location. Change job. You meet new people. And then they are hungry for God. They start praying from 5 to 10, 10 to 15. Then we see where you laid hands. Somebody fell and got filled with the Holy Ghost. Broken leg. Your broken leg is waiting after marriage. That's what I'm saying. All of them work together. Don't come and say, I'll be saying, who told you? How do you know now? How do you know? The first broken leg can be your husband. In case you don't know, some of you, your husband is sick. Part of the reason this friend are teaching you how to heal the sick, you trust God either to heal the person or one of us here heal the person. You want ready-made. You want ready-made. Maybe he comes like me like this. And then enters with one can. This, like this, my can they gave me where I went for missions, and then wear the can and come out and say, I am the knight in shining armor. I'm here to carry you away. Well, as you would have noticed, all the good knights are already taken. Look for your own. Your own might need a healing. If he doesn't need bodily healing, his pocket needs healing. It's the same thing. It's even worse. I spoke to a man, he said, what is the purpose of being physically alright when there is no money? As of now, your person that might be your husband can't pay for one room. So he's not thinking about marriage at all. You are saying gaga, gaga, gaga. We divert that gaga to push the man out. Because as soon as the marriage, other things will be arranging. So what I found out about life is that things work like chain reaction. You are a young lady, you can be asking God, how do you want to use me? How do you want to use me? The how is in marriage, because you can marry somebody that is very strong in God. This is the way the person will drag you. Listen to me. If you marry a very strong man spiritually, just his presence will make you to grow without doing anything. Me now, I'm married. Let's assume I came and met my wife. I say, I want to marry you. Just if I say I want to marry you, you are under pressure instantly. In fact, if I think about marriage and ever think about you, you stay under pressure. Heaven will mount pressure on you. It's a spiritual law. Some young ladies don't even know why they are under pressure. You are under pressure because the person that is about to marry you is going quite far. But you don't know. And it's the same thing with the guy. You are under pressure because the young lady that wants to marry you is going quite far. Once the thing clicks, bam, before you know it, things open. The two of you, as you are stepping out from this thing, ministry door open, you walk into missions together. You are in UK, it might not be UK, you can be in Kaduna for missions. That's how it's happening. So don't come and negate any side. All of them it can be to go to school, it can be anything. That's how life is. That's why it's called supernatural. Supernatural means natural, then you add what? The super. That means it will still be walking around the corridors of the natural. But you will know that this one is beyond the act of the natural. If a young man that is on fire suddenly said, God, is it not time to marry? God will scan and find 17 sisters, put pressure on them. After 6 months, 7 will fail. It will remain 10. That's how the law works in the spirit. Then they will mount another pressure. Mount. Then some things that you are not aware of will start speaking. Once they mount that pressure, then things that you don't know about will start speaking. Your foundation can come and speak and say you will not marry a good person. Your foundation can make you never ever be able to see the right person. You will never. Yes, there is one of the signs you have received favor, mercy, and grace is being able to identify the person that is the next person. Because as all these young ladies are, you don't know. You think you know because of their height or their skin color. You don't know. You don't know. That's why we are praying. There are a few that you already know, but there are not many. Actually, there are not many that are clearly known. And for you as a young lady to be clearly known, it takes quite a while to build yourself in that. That young lady must have cleared a lot of baggages in the spirit. The same thing with young men. You don't know. You don't know. We can be here all horse, and before you know it, you can't see the person. Satan will even set you up. You will have issues with the person, and you are busy telling everybody, I don't like this guy. All the time meanwhile he's your husband though. And when you say, the man will come out and say, I don't like you too, and everybody will go their way, and he will find another person and marry. As soon as he married, ministry open. You heard that he healed 17 mad people, and the thing is going. You are now all the time. You are now following him. That's what foolish young ladies do. You see the young man now. You don't. It's your foundation. As soon as that thing happen now, you now start following him up and down secretly on social media everywhere, monitoring as which you are monitoring his progress. And it's the same thing with the guys. You'll be seeing the sister to marry. You are looking for what is not looking for you. There are things to open. Anybody that you saw before that time, you didn't see anything. Is that same foundation that finished your father that is still trying to manipulate your destiny again? And when you get your marriage correct, everybody will be wishing they married your husband, and everybody will be wishing they married your wife. That's the problem. Marry your own, leave somebody own. And for some of you that is young ministers, you don't know what God will. Once you marry like this, just marry so that you will remove that. It's a burden. And the same thing with young ladies. There are some young ladies, they have seen your fire and all that. You are on somebody's prayer altar now. Before you know it, they will target you, follow you as you are buying up, and they pay for you. I've seen some of you. I've been eyeing some young men. I'm not saying you should not marry. You are starting with up, but instead of prayer, things link up. Especially as young people, things link up. Don't close out and say that this one be open. Don't pursue it too. That's where the mistake is. Be pursuing God, but be open. I've taught it people. I said, when God moves in your life, he touches everything that you opened up to him. There are people that experience revival is supposed to give you wife and husband. Yes. That's what an elder told me many years ago. He said that the best time to find who to marry is when God moved in you people's midst. To the revival pool and find a husband or a wife. There are seeds that all of you contacted together, and there are things you don't need to explain to the person again, because they already know the origin of several things happening in your life. And there are people God moved in our midst, and they believe God heavily for their finance, and they were shifted financially. Some people ministerially, miracles, all kinds of things. They left marriage. The day, if you think it's easy to marry, wait now. I'm telling you, I thought it was very easy. When we were in campus, I said, leave this thing. I will not. Don't tell me woman until 10 years. Brothers and sisters, it took 10 years. That word, as I said it, it came to pass 10 good years. So if God is moving, say, Lord, my academics is part of it. My marriage is part of it. Everything, let it be subject to the move of God. An elder told me many years ago, he said, if you want to marry, look for your wife in the pool of revival. How can a revivalist be looking for his wife outside? The person can't catch what you are doing. Say, go inside the pool of revival and pick for yourself a young damsel. Go to the pool of revival. Don't stop going people that when you wake up your wife and say, honey, let's pray for 3 hours. I sense danger. You tell me, I'm just so tired. My body, you know that I trekked in the afternoon, so it's disturbing me. Look for the revival so that at least your discussion, so that you have something to discuss now. Husband and wife should have something to discuss. You should have common ground. The more common ground, the better. But you can marry anybody. Don't say I said you must marry. You can marry anyone. You can go to that street. You can see a lady as his spouse. Say, I want to marry you. Anyone you choose. Because you can catch your fire and wrong marriage can take it away. In my own opinion, marriage is a business investment. It's not an emotional investment. But if you don't want to hear me, marry Gabo. Don't come and tell me, I'm telling you now, so that you don't come and tell me, Apostle, that is not the will of God. This now we are going to settle it. The matter of whether it's the will of God or not the will of God is when? Now, before it has what happened. After it has happened, whoever you married is finally the will of God. Those days when my ministry have not kick-started, even though I saw 1 or 2 people I told myself the truth. I'm wasting this. I will waste this young lady's time. If you find me in that marriage, I won't be committed to it that time. I'm too focused on breaking out in my calling. I might not even sleep at home for 3 months, and I'm not bothered. It's not about whether the person is good or not. Your calling now is in a time-consuming state. It doesn't need help yet. It has not gotten direction and momentum. It's when it gains direction and momentum, you now add what? Help. You have not even cracked the first layer. You are looking for a gear to carry. By all means. Now 2 of you is on the ground. Because the girl is thinking you have potential. Just that he overestimated you. Only to come and she found out that you are still even struggling to do your morning devotion. All these young ladies I'm seeing, many of you on fire, many of you on this thing. I heard that they would have married you at Abuja. Some of them Jezebelic men. Have you encountered a Jezebelic man? Their job is to feast on young ladies with calling. Feast on young ladies. By the time they are through with you, 10 years into the marriage, you will be mangled. If you are not careful, you will go to hell. Because you will be bitter for not fulfilling your calling. And if you want to do it, you are living out, you have to live out of authority to do it. Which is another end of spiritual betrayal. So you are now there. Every young minister with a good calling must pass this test. Male or female. They will sow seed to you. Call you sir. Honor you. You know what I'm saying. There are young ladies that honor you. When they see you, seem as if they are shaking. You are going to shake later. For now, they are shaking. You are going to shake in the future. Like them carrying your bag. See, there are things, don't try it. That's what they did to me those days. Oh, come and tell me, no, I refuse to go there. The man said that, you are not a man. Are you a man? Normal, and they are normally two. They say, thank God I live higher, very high. Brother, it's not today I started ascending. No. Before I left campus, I'm already on the mountain top, very high. I don't live on the ground. You can't find me on the ground. They came those days. They came to me. I told them, no. In 300 level, I came to class one day. I came in my classmate. Some downstairs in my class. Edu! They say, Edu. They wanted to hold me. One of our classmates, a guy, now said, you people should leave Edu. He's the only one remaining in this class.
one came and met me those days. I told her, do you know where I will come down from? So you mean for me to is very hard for me to even consider what you are saying. For me to do that, there is a place I'm sitting very high. I will now be coming down. And now call you, hello, baby. I can't even imagine it. Can't. You know how much I discipline myself before I could marry a woman. You know how much I have to, even with all the things I know, I have to discipline myself. I only took my wife out 2 times in 1 year. First time, second time marriage. No time. All the time you are carrying somebody, all the time you are carrying somebody. They will start looking down on you. That's another day. Time you are carrying somebody. Can we go out this weekend? Even the lady is tired of going out. What are you? You say, you are laughing. Come out of that place. Close your teeth and become a man. There are some things you think you are making that you are a likable person. Now, that's the thing that ladies actually doesn't like about. If you want to be man, be a man. They are satisfied with being a lady. How can you now come and do their job for them? What would they now have as their job description? When you come and do a lady's job, a woman's job, what's their own? Do your own, let me do my own. Then too much emotionality is not a proof of love, self. It's a proof. For a man, it's a proof of instability. All the time you're emotional. All the time emotional. That means you can't take a decision. Because love is a commitment. It's a compendium of decision. You will decide, if my wife do this, I will not react. If you are emotional, you will react. One of the proofs that a man is living with a woman by knowledge is that you will create an avenue for her to play her role. Especially for some of us that have lived independently, the same way for man and woman. If a woman has lived independent, like you are, what I mean by independent, you are paying your house rent, you are doing everything, and you have done it for many years. It will be hard for you to live with a man. You will have to create an environment, create something around you that will make a necessity of a man coming in to fill that gap. Naturally, you will not know, but a man can look and see that there is no space for him in your life. The same thing the other side. A woman can look and see that there is no space. That's the danger for people like me, I know. I lived in such a way. You know, one of my fears those days, I would look at my house and say, hey, Jesus. So I would just come and carry a woman and put her. She would just be walking around in this my house. When I remember, it would be me fear. But I'm now afraid that I'm living my very controlled and stable life to the possibility of another person. And I don't like vulnerability. I'm a preacher of strength. I don't like any kind of vulnerability around my life. If I'm sensing one, I will fight it. Even if it's for 20 years, I will fight it and win. But you have to be intentionally vulnerable. If not, somebody will be wondering. Just imagine somebody like me now. If I tell you to help me, what do you think you can give me? If you think it's food, I can stay without food. Whatever. Even if you think it's sexual relation, I can still, once there is a way I do it. There's a way I fast. As I'm fasting, I'm talking to my mind, talking to fast. After 7 days, the thing I will die. 14 days, I will shift. 21 days. All I need to do is to be maintaining it. You'll be looking like my fellow man. Maybe what is in your mind is, oh, if I marry, I need to marry so I can start having sex. You are a foolish man. A loose man is a loose man, whether married or not. Tighten your belt. A loose man is what? A loose man, married or not. Father, I need to marry so that I can stop masturbation. You won't stop. Oh. You better stop when? Now. So I need to marry so I can stop. I need marriage to stop my pornography. You won't stop. You better stop when? Now, I see a lady, I see women, I'm shaking. I just need to marry so that when I marry, I will announce these ladies that is tempting will stop. Your temptation will increase.